Hi, everyone. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome Ramila Peiris to the podcast. Ramila is a pragmatic and strategic leader with over a decade of experience driving innovation and delivering impactful data science solutions in the pharmaceutical and biotechnology sectors. He's currently serving as the global head of data management, ML, and AI platform within MSAT at Sanofi. He has dedicated his career to transforming business processes, supporting the adoption of AI, and building high-performance teams. Ramila's passion lies in leveraging data to make faster, more informed decisions and creating practical solutions that address critical challenges in biopharma. He believes in the power of storytelling to gain buy-in from stakeholders and sees data as a foundation for game-changing advancements in the industry. Today, we will dive into his journey, his perspective on AI and data in biopharma, and his vision for the future of manufacturing digitization. Ramila, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Brandy. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're very excited. I think we're just going to jump right in here. And how about you share a little bit about your background and what led you to focus on data-driven solutions, specifically in the biopharma industry?
Yeah, sure. Yes, so my background is in chemical and process engineering. I specialized in mathematical modeling, mechanistic modeling during my graduate studies. Uh, I think that provided me a solid background to work in data science. When I first joined the pharma industry, I was fortunate enough to be thrown into process troubleshooting. Uh, with data analytics, I saw the impact it made, and I loved that experience. I also realized that my process engineering background really helped me to think through problems and apply analytics in a way that is meaningful to experts that I was interacting with and helping.
Yeah, I could definitely see how all those worlds converge to make your role very impactful. Kind of thinking about what drives your passion in championing the role of data and making these impactful decisions within pharma. What is it that drives you?
The pharmaceutical industry impacts public health in a positive way, right? So I believe data is truly a key enabler for problem solving in pharma industry. So that belief drives me to champion the role of data, work on initiatives that make data ready to use, and develop data analytics solutions that help solve problems faster, whether it is process troubleshooting, improving manufacturing processes, or improving business processes.
Yeah, and part of that too is right, transforming speed and cost of delivery to customers and especially in the pharma world. Um, just kind of wondering if you might be able to elaborate a little bit further and give some examples of how this works in practice.
Yeah, in our industry, the quality of the product is very important.
Mm,
Uh, Now, if we have a product quality issue, right, we may end up in a situation that we are not able to meet the market demand, and hence we may face the risk of losing market share. So solving that product quality issue is as fast as possible is extremely important for us. And also the same thing is true if you have a yield issue where the manufacturing output is below the expected target, right? So when we face situations like that, we spend time and efforts in solving these problems, and sometimes a lot of experts are involved. That means their time and their efforts. So and these experts use data to make decisions to solve problems. So if we can provide data in a ready to use format and analytics in a ready to use format and what I call analytics at speed, uh, the problem solving times can be reduced and thereby reducing cost of manufacturing.
Yeah, and I would imagine just with the addition of AI into this world, I would imagine that there are a lot of other obstacles that can be solved in a more
Mhm.
timely manner. How are you kind of seeing AI play into the overall reduction of obstacles in the manufacturing environment?
Yeah, I mean, AI, we call it AI, AI or simple data analysis, regardless of the methodologies we use, it's feeds into decision making, at the end.
Hmm?
And the way I think about is, any analytics or AI, whether it is AI or, simple statistics, how can we deliver that capability faster in a meaningful way, so that our SMEs and subject matter experts don't waste their time, and they can have that capability readily available. We can do lots of things with AI, and for me, the true capability of AI is, how can we deliver problem solving capability through AI faster?
Yeah, and something that you've mentioned before is there's no AI without information architecture, without
Mhm.
IA. Could you elaborate on this and explain why information architecture is really the foundation to effectively leveraging AI?
Yeah, this is very true. In my opinion, the main reason is that many industries are not tackling the right problem when it's come to AI, right? Uh, you know, you know, you need the right kind of information architect to have AI at scale. What do I mean by that is, you can build up solutions, but the sustainable use of that solution is important, right? So most of the time we are kind of, we uh, we are trying to bring solutions, AI solutions, which normally, AI is a buzzword and it's shiny, and we are bringing these solutions without thinking about how can we deliver the capability in a sustainable way.
Hmm.
And that's where the data information architecture is so important. Let me give an example, right? If you buy a house, you expect the faucets in your house to work. All right, there is an unconscious expectation that the house you walk in when you buy a house will come with pipelines to bring water to your bathrooms, kitchens. Typically, these water pipelines are designed and installed during the construction of a house. Now think about a pharmaceutical manufacturing building. Do we consider creating data systems that clean, organize, contextualize data during the planning of construction stages of a new building? Sadly, most of the time we don't.
Yeah.
So if we are building a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility that we expect to be ready for AI, we must also build foundational data capabilities, foundational system architecture that enables ready-to-use data analytics. With that level of capabilities, we can create facilities that are AI ready, where data is ready to use from day one.
I really like that analogy. That was great. I haven't really heard anybody explain it quite like that with the pipes and faucets to a house. But do you think that that is one of the primary barriers to a lot of organizations not being able to fully realize the benefits of the buzzword AI effectively is just because the architect, the information just they didn't build the foundation, the information to be able to fully leverage.
Yeah, I think so because AI is tempting. AI is a buzzword, and there's a lot of promise that comes with AI.
Mhm.
And therefore, people most of the time we we jump into creating AI solutions without really creating the capabilities that truly enable that AI solutions, right? So going back to my example, right? You got to build uh, build foundational capability in a house. It's in my view, right, ability to have ready to use water in the house is a foundational capability, right, at least in the third world, in the developed world. So
Mhm.
I think most of there's a temptation to jump into AI topics without creating the information architecture in a proper way, creating data systems, the data pipelines, and taking that time to create more sustainable data architecture. So most companies like live with the promise of AI, but really don't achieve that because of this. You don't have the foundation in place to have AI at scale.
Yeah, yeah. So let's say that a company is ready and prepared to kind of start to dabble in AI capabilities, and Catalyze AI is focused on optimizing the biomanufacturing process, using AI and data-driven insights. From your perspective, how could a platform like Catalyze AI help address some of the challenges that you've mentioned that the industry faces,
Mhm.
and um, like such as accelerating adoption of streamlining data integration and in pharmaceutical manufacturing? Like how do you kind of see Catalyze, a solution like Catalyze, playing into this world?
Yeah, very good question. I think when I think about AI and data-driven insights, I expect any good data and AI platform to solve the hardest part of data analytics, uh, which is not analytics itself, by the way. It is the ability to deliver contextualized and analytics-ready data to the end users and to the tools uh, they are, those companies often tout as game changing and groundbreaking, right? Most platforms claim that they can solve the most difficult problems in healthcare. If that is the case, I expect the platforms to solve the most fundamental problems that hinders us from doing analytics at speed, which is creating contextualized data pipelines that are easier to maintain and
Mhm.
easily scalable.
Mhm.
uh, any platform capable of doing that will also be capable of producing practical and pragmatic AI solutions.
Yeah, I mean that you nailed it right there, right? Like the promises and hopes, but that is the piece that is
Mhm.
really foundational to full realization. Something that you had mentioned earlier and emphasized in your work is just the storytelling of data, right? Like getting buy-in from stakeholders. I have a feeling that you have a lot of experience with this over your journey in the
Mhm.
in the workplace and probably even in your studies. Could you just how do you approach crafting stories that resonate with both technical and non-technical audiences? Because that is the true difficulty.
I haven't really cracked the telling problem yet. I'm still learning. What I would like to do is I like to come up with stories, examples that resonate with people,
Mhm.
resonate with anyone, right? Not, I don't, if I can tell a story, even a child can understand, and that's the message I want to give. And then I believe if I can win over somebody who doesn't understand any technical parts, and that's the best story, right? So especially with our leaders and decision makers, I try to do that.
Mhm.
I'll try to tell a simple story that is clear and understandable, and then I like to try to explain a problem and solution with simple examples, and most importantly, I like to tell the benefit of these solutions to try and win over the sponsors who can help us solve some of these data projects or some of these data problems.
Yeah, I mean, and this has been a big part of your work, right? Is
Mhm.
advocating for different data AI solutions. So just in your experience, how does securing the right sponsorship within an organization accelerate the adoption of data-driven initiatives?
I think it helps bringing different stakeholders to the table and gain alignment faster, right? If you
Hmm.
have a right sponsor and right with the right message, this will help to bring different stakeholders to the and bring them to the same goal and gain alignment faster. And also the right sponsorship can remove roadblocks, right, to
Yeah.
enable faster execution of such projects. Like if your leader or your sponsor is really believing in what this is all about, what your project is, and I am sure that your sponsor will help you remove roadblocks. And also, I think, I mean, the most important part of data projects is how do you find the resources? So finding the right sponsor can also help us find resources. They can help. They can advocate for and create the right environment to secure user adoption. Right. So I think that if we can cover these aspects if we have the right sponsorship.
Yeah, completely agree. And I'm as listeners are tuning in and they're kind of thinking about how to kind of wrap their arms around this early data planning, I'm wondering if you could perhaps share some examples of how early data planning has helped avoid challenges in later stages.
Yeah, I think for me, if you are building a new manufacturing building, it is so important to consider data as an important part of the building project itself.
Mhm.
So here I'm not just talking about automation systems and other foundational capabilities that capture data. In addition to that, we must also focus on creating the right capabilities to enable the delivery of cleaned, organized, ready-to-use data and analytics to the end users. So, from my experience, early planning has helped us to create data capabilities to enable faster problem solving and decision making, right? Which meant we could better adhere to project schedules if it is a new project or new manufacturing facility, or in a tech transfer situation where where we are trying to bring a new product into the market. Having the data capability to help us make decision is really important, and having that in a timely manner is even more important.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredibly crucial, and just kind of looking, it feels like things are moving at rapid speed. Looking into the future a bit, what advancements in data and AI do you believe will host the greatest impact on the pharmaceutical and manufacturing sectors?
I think any advancement that take us towards performing analytics faster will have great impact.
Hmm.
I mean, more specifically, right? I think somebody told this year is the year of AI agents. So
Yeah.
more specifically, I'm looking forward to the advancements in AI agents that
Hmm.
can not only do analytics but also can tackle some of these difficult data engineering problems.
Hmm. So AI agents, that's what you're looking
Mhm.
forward to.
Yep.
Yeah. And just, kind of thinking about organizations and where they're at, you talked about kind of starting a manufacturing facility from scratch, but that's a huge financial lift, right? But
Mhm.
and a lot of these facilities are going to have to kind of go back and retrofit and clean up and do things. I mean, that seems like kind of more of a reality for a lot of
Mhm.
folks is like getting themselves prepared. I mean, do you have any advice to those that are in a current manufacturing situation and this maybe some initial steps to take to try and to move into a more modernized environment?
My experience is, creating the data capabilities that I mentioned during this, talk, right? And it's not expensive compared to all the assets, everything that you spend on a new building, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Actually, it's with very limited budget, we can create capabilities where you can, the payback time could be like, few years, even less than a year sometimes, right?
Mhm.
So, um, so I think probably the missing piece is the education. People don't really think about, data as a capability. When you build a facility, they think about equipment, the assets, the process, how to improve the process, and things like that. They don't really think about, how can I use also the data in this facility to make decision faster. So I think it's a more for education thing that we need to do. um, Really, bring creating data pipelines, creating, analytic solutions that help system, new facilities, new buildings. AI ready is not expensive. I'm
Yeah.
talking about it through my own experience. Like we build data capabilities in my current role, right, in different sites now. My team is building, like, right now, supporting two brand new manufacturing facilities. And the budget we have is really, really limited, right? With a very small budget, we can do a lot.
Yeah, that's great. That's impressive. I mean, comparatively, right, to the other things that are being invested in these facilities, this is like a very minor budget line.
Mhm.
So, as we wrap this conversation up, Ramila, I'm wondering if you could just talk through how organizations can position themselves to capitalize on emerging trends. Like, what are some initial steps that they can take? What would you recommend? Maybe some first tackles, like an easy in might be.
Yeah, I mean, there could be different approaches. I would share my approach if
Yeah.
I'm doing this, right? So, first, investing in people, right? Find people who has the domain knowledge, who are capable of systems thinking, like, think through a problem. Uh, um, and, that is really, really a foundational capability. If you think about, you know, have people, any project, it's, we need to work with people. So people, different stakeholders. So invest in people who are able to work with others, understand the business problem better, and translate that business problem into technical aspects, data capabilities, and how to do that. So that's one aspect. And also, I would say create teams that are passionate about working with end users and solving end user problems, right? Something missing when you think about, all these AI solutions. We don't really think about uh, you know how the adoption pieces of the end users. I think it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And so teams that are really, the really work with the end users, understand, that mindset that they need to understand the business requirement is a really a key factor that will make any project successful, right? um, and then also breaking barriers, right? Especially leaderships can help breaking barriers and silos to bring different groups from different parts of the organization to work on data and AI related projects. So now, oftentimes when we say data and AI related, we think about, programmers, people who can code, people who can model. it's not enough, right? We
Mhm.
have that is important part of these projects, but also the people who actually the experts of business, right? The domain knowledge, people with domain knowledge is uh, are very important for projects like that. So I think we got to break barriers and silos to bring different parts together to be able to reach our AI goals and to be able to be successful. Um, and then finally, I would say, create the right strategies for data management, create the right technical strategies for data management and AI that last long. What I mean by that is, find the right stack, find the right technical stack, find the right technical solutions, and stick to them without changing them, every year or two, just because the industry is changing. Industry is changing, but you shouldn't be changing your solution every year, which means that you have to redo everything, and then it will slow you down.
Would you suggest that people seek out a system that is more agile to the changing environments? I mean, it feels like
Mhm.
everything is changing so fast that looking
Yeah,
at, yeah.
everything will change, and so fast. It is something that is, it's change is constant. It's gonna change. I think what I would trust in this situation is like the people who can adjust fast, right?
Hmm.
People. So that's why I first mentioned, when you ask me what are they, what are the things they can do to position themselves, the industries, the organization, uh, what are the things that the organization can do. I mentioned about people because I think the having the right people with the right mindset is the most important piece, because
Yeah.
they can tolerate, they can withstand all these changes because they have the right mindset. So I think people, we often, we are worried sometimes, AI, we will lose jobs and things like that. But I think, those who are able to translate, make the connection uh, from business to data, will will be in a more advantageous position in the future with AI. So invest
Yeah.
in people.
I completely agree with you. I think that this is 100% a people thing, right? And also
Mhm.
just, I really loved when you talked about just all the stakeholders involved, right? And like building something that the end users, like everyone is on board with, that you think about all the different folks who are in the process and being able to understand their perspective and coming together. So even if it's not the whole thing is a
Yeah,
people issue, right? From the start of
exactly.
like getting the right people and then bringing the right people together.
Mhm.
It's great. That's a great takeaway. I think we've been focused a lot on the different technologies that you can bring into your organizations and where to start and data, but kind of bringing it back to people. Thank you, Ramila. This conversation has been excellent. Is there anything else that you want to leave the listeners with before we wrap it up?
um, I mean, I love the. I think I started saying that I love the experience where I had the opportunity to solve problems, right? And I love that experience. I think when you think about data and AI, I think people need to understand it's something that will help you. It's not going to replace you, and it's you know you owe yourself to learn what is capable of, and be be a person that you can make the links, what business need, what AI can do. You don't need to be an expert in data or in AI to be successful in AI. and that's the message I can give.
That was great. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining Catalyst. This is a wonderful conversation, and we would love to have you back again.
Thanks a lot.